right, good evening, everybody. I'm calling this special meeting, the Board of Trustees, together on December 15th, 2025 at 7:01 p.m. Attorney Mistis, please roll call.
Trustee Alfano. Absent. Trustee Cordova.
Here.
Trustee Constados.
Here.
Trustee Kozar.
Here.
Trustee Kumar.
Here.
Trustee Sabri.
Here. Okay.
I'm sorry. Village President Patrick.
Here. Thank you. If we could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward to public comments on agenda items. Is there anybody in the public that has comments on agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward to public comments on non-agenda items. Please step forward to the podium. And if you could state your name clearly in the mic.
Feel free to send me a check at any time.
Did I say that?
I'm here mainly concerning permits. I know some of the newer trustees, we've talked about, the village seems to have an overwhelming number of permits we have to go through, such as a $75 permit just to put underneath my new air conditioner. That's not why I'm here tonight. The village manager and the village president, I hope, is aware of an incident that occurred this week at the Dunkin' Donuts remodel on St. Charles Road. Dunkin' Donuts had arranged with the village to shut down their entire operation because they're gutting the whole place. A lot of people here know they couldn't get their coffee. So for whatever reason, the permit didn't show up for 5 days. And the end of last week, Thursday or Friday, I got a call at my home. Do I know who they should call in the village? Because George Bennis cannot get over there to give them their permits. Now, they already sent all their employees home. The business is shut down. These young people are out of work. So, actually, my daughter called me because she's the manager there, and the guy that was the construction foreman wanted to know. I said, get a hold of Mike. So they came over here and started talking, I think to George or to somebody. Mike, you know better than this. And Mike, you were involved. I don't know if you've talked about it with Kevin or not, but George Bennis is a contractor and he's also a village inspector. I have never liked that. I like George. When I was a contractor, George did work for me. But I do not think George should be a contractor and a village inspector and tell someone that has shut down their business, I can't get there this week, when they've already sent all their people home. The guys are there, the foreman is there, the workers are there. They couldn't do a damn thing because George couldn't get there. Now, I don't know whether it's disciplinary or if you should fire his butt, but somebody needs to do something about a contractor that's a village inspector. It's wrong. These people lost several days' wages. And I don't know what you can do about it, but it's up to you, Kevin, and you, Mike. See that something is done about getting the village permits, either get rid of them, we have excess permits, but if you have to have a permit, get them there, get the businesses going. We don't need to be screwing these people out of a day's work. You got a whole bunch of young people didn't get paid now for 5 days because of that delay. I'm done.
Thank you. Is there any other public comments on non-agenda items? Any other public comments on non-agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward. We do not have any proclamations or presentations or appointments to commissions, so we'll move on to 9A, or consent agenda. The bill listing for the week of December 1st, 2025, in the amount of $3,326,991.89 for the week of December 9th, 2025, and the amount of $398,655.59, and the approval of the minutes of the Village Board of Trustees meeting held on October 13th, 2025. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Kozar, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Constados? Is there any discussion? Trustee Constados?
Yes, thank you. I just have one quick question. I was just wondering, are we approving October's minutes? Are these the minutes where we had to correct the vote? Is that why we're approving it kind of so late, or? I just didn't know why we were approving minutes from October.
Manager Reeves?
I believe that's the reason, yes.
That was the reason. I thought that might be the reason, that it was where we had to do that correction, but I just wanted to confirm. Thank you.
Are there any other discussions? Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Kozar, seconded by Trustee Constados. If we could do a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Here, yes.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to 12A, an ordinance adopting a budget for the Village of Villa Park, County of DuPage, State of Illinois, for all corporate purposes in lieu of an annual appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year commencing on January 1st, 2026, and ending on December 31st, 2026. Do I have a motion for the ordinance?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Kozar, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Constados, second. Is there any discussion? Trustee Constados.
Yes, thank you. I have some questions, if I may. I was going over the budget, and I also had a meeting with our director with some questions, but I have some further ones. In looking at 501, we have, for 2025, a section where it looks like we had okayed the budget of $510,000 to transfer to the recreation fund, but we're projecting $890,000 to be transferred, and I wasn't quite sure what that was, like, where is that difference coming from? Why there's such a difference in that?
Good evening. So I'm not sure if the supervisor of the Recreation Division can answer this question better than I can, but what was brought to my attention is when we went through this budget process, we were trying to project where we were going to land at the end of 2025. And so that number was put in. Clearly, that is above what was passed by this board. So what would need to happen is after January, when we're still, because the month of January, we leave the fiscal year 25 and 26. So when we have bills that are coming in, anything that's for 25, we still leave them open and we pay them so that we charge them. And then, of course, the 26 bills. So at the end of January, once I do that cutoff, then I'll be able to see where we land in terms of, at the end of the year, if they're truly over budgeted. And if they need that extra dollar amount transferred, then I would have to bring an amended budget to you, the board, before I could do that transfer. So I would never do that transfer without your directive. But in terms of why they went over, that's a question for the Recreation Division. I can't answer that.
Can we ask that question?
Would you restate the question, please?
Sure. If you look at the budget under 2025, it looks like we okayed $510,000 for the recreation fund, but it looks like we're projecting that we're going to come in at $890,000. So I was wondering, why did we go so far over budget, and what was it for?
Okay, so the budget that we put together for 2025 was our first year in this building. There were a lot of unknowns, and there isn't anything in particular that cost us more money than I think what people were anticipating, but I know there was some funding that we needed to get started at the beginning of the year that didn't probably get budgeted in the right place because we took some of that money out of operations for some stuff that we had to purchase. It is not staff-related because all the staff that teach the programs, all of those budgets pay for the programs. So the additional cost for this building was getting in here and having some unexpected expenditures come up. I can also say that I did do a little bit of research on this, and the cost recovery that will probably arrive at the end of this month is 42%. So when I looked up what the stats are and what's expected, it's anywhere from 20 to 50%, with 29 to 30% being the median. So we are within that cost recovery. Certainly we want to be, obviously better than 42%, but that's part of our goals for the upcoming year.
So then we have a separate one for the Parks Fund, correct? But then I see, so you're saying that we budgeted for 510, we're projecting we're going to come in at 890, but now you're saying we're going to come in less than that?
I'm hoping that's the case. I don't know exactly how much will be transferred. The goal is to make sure that we're not that far off for the upcoming year. So yes, there is, Parks is in the 36 account, Recreation's in the 35 account, NEDSRA's in the 34 account. So yes, those are all done separately. The budgets are all separate.
So you're saying that the extra expenses were for the structure? Is this from building the building, or?
No, not for the structure, for moving in here and getting going. Some equipment.
Was that ever brought to us for approval, do we know, or is that? I'm not quite sure how that works, so I guess I'm kind of asking, when we're going to spend that much more over what I guess we agreed to allow, what's the procedure for doing so? I mean, was there, because to my knowledge, I don't recall it coming to us saying, hey, we're going to be X amount over budget. It's got to come from somewhere, correct?
Well, I think what we can do is look at what were the expenses that were incurred that went over budget, and bring that back to let us know when and or if that did come to the board for approval.
Can we get a list of the expenses?
For the whole year, do you want us to break that down by?
I think that would be appropriate.
Yeah.
I think moving forward, Director Recanelli, what we could do is, for the board, if you could just put a list together of what caused us to go over budget and what was spent. If those were costs incurred with moving into the new building, we just want to see what those were and when they might have been approved by the board.
Certainly.
Okay, thank you.
I can do that.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure if the pool question comes to you as well.
It does.
Oh, okay. And then I'm looking at the swimming pool, and it says that we budgeted for $712,500. What was that for?
Hold on.
It's like we're only projecting that we're going to spend $145,000. So where's the rest of it going? Is going to be my question.
So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, because part of the rec center was also in 41. Are you separating what was the rec center? We're moving the rec center back into recreation, so that's why I just.
Well, on the budget here, it's showing up separate from the 510,000? That's why I'm asking. It's showing the pool as being separate. It says transfer to swimming pool fund, 712,500 is what we budgeted. It looks like we're spending or anticipating only spending 145,000, which is, now we've shifted from lower budget spending too much to higher budget spending less significantly. So I was just wondering why we asked for so much for the pool allowance and why we're spending so little, and where's the difference going?
Unfortunately, I do believe that it has something to do with part of the rec center being moved out of recreation and into the 41 account. Susie,
Susie, can you clarify that maybe?
because 700,000 is a lot of
Yeah,
money.
that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
You're talking about the
And I want to make sure I get this straight here. So the 712,500 is what was budgeted to be moved from the general fund to the swimming pool fund.
Just the pool fund?
Just a pool fund. It says here, transfer to the swimming pool fund, 712,500.
We only need 145.
Correct. So I can't answer that question as to why the request was made for the 742,500, or I'm sorry, the 712,500, what that original, why you needed that much for the swimming pool fund. I can't answer that. After assessing all of the expenses out of Fund 41, because for Fund 41 should have been the swimming pool fund. What happened is when the 2025 budget was put together, and you can probably explain this better than I can, but the recreation fund was still left as the recreation department, but then they did budgeting where they merged this VPRC center with the swimming pool, which makes no sense. And so what I did is, as we were working on the budget, is I pulled all of those recreation expenses out of the swimming pool fund, because whether it's a VPRC or not, it's recreation. It shouldn't be in the swimming pool fund. So I moved all those expenses and everything back into the recreation fund, which is Fund 35. So going back to why they budgeted 712,500, I don't know.
And I just would like to add, I don't know how far back you can go, but when I look back, 2023, 150,000, 2024 was 125,000.
Correct.
So
That's
the
exactly why I was asking, because
I feel like
there's such a huge difference that I just want an explanation.
They can see that. See, they
Yeah.
can see the 120.
Okay, I wasn't sure,
They can see
'cause
that. They,
Yeah,
but then all of a
that's-
sudden it goes to 712,500, and then we're only projecting 145. So the 145 is in line with the previous
Correct.
years. But why was 712,500 asked for?
I don't know the
can't
answer to that. If it's specific to the pools, it doesn't make sense.
So then I guess my next question is the 712,500 already sitting in the pool fund?
No, it hasn't been transferred yet, I don't
It
think.
hasn't been transferred yet. So
It's not. I have not transferred that.
so if it's not needed there, it obviously won't be transferred there? Or does it still get transferred there and then it sits as like a positive going into 26?
It's a positive going into 2026 for the general fund. So that whole column there, and I know it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line items that we're doing transfers for. So those are the projected numbers. If there's anything that is below what was budgeted, I will do that transfer at the end of January. But if it's above that number that the department is requesting, then I will bring it back to the board for an amended budget and asking for permission, because by law, by statute, I can't do that transfer. I'd be violating a whole bunch of things. But, yeah, so, sorry.
Okay, so we're just kind of, I guess, don't really have an answer for that.
One of the things that we could do, Trustee Constados, is that we can go back and look at who specifically from Parks and Rec made the request. We did have a change in our director that could have possibly been our previous director, Director Gola, that made that request. But what we could do is we can look to see who made that request.
Can I request that information for all of us, please?
Absolutely.
My next question, staying in that same zone, is I see that we're projecting for 2026, 1.97,800,000 for, I believe it's equipment, is in the Fund 65. So my question was just, what type of equipment are we looking to purchase? Because I know we've purchased kind of a lot of new equipment recently. So I was just wanting a little clarification on that, if I may.
What number? This one right here?
3839.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Yeah, so the majority of Fund 65 currently would be for leases. We have the enterprise lease, which is all the regular fleet that we've purchased, or not purchased, I guess leased, through enterprise, which I have the numbers back there, but around 200,000 is our annual lease payment for that. We do have another lease payment that we have with, I believe, BMO Harris, that is for the purchase of the most current, not the one that's coming next year, but the current one that we bought 2 years ago, tandem truck.
Okay.
The re-chassis of the ambulance, I think, was included in that, and the purchase of the Vector. So the majority of the chunk of this upcoming year is just payments to leases. Now, we are projecting the purchase of 3 squad cars, and the single axle plow truck that was purchased by, authorized by council last year, that we will get in probably the first quarter to summer of next year. Talking with Susie and looking at our finances this year, we're probably looking at financing those as well. And so we're looking at maybe going out to local vendors, BMO Harris, the places that we have bank accounts with, to see if we can get favorable rates, to package that in, so that we can make those payments, knowing that we'll have also the ambulance chief, is that correct? In 27 that's coming? And maybe package those together, just to make it actual feasible, to keep it around $1 million, otherwise that balloons. But we kind of cut back on the purchase of this year's equipment, just because we actually have a decent amount of lease payments in that, which includes Enterprise and the BMO Harris for previous equipment.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
I have questions.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes. May I?
No, you can't.
Yes, I'm looking at the 2026 equipment capital plan budget here, that what you presented to us quite a while ago. Assistant Manager Guerrero, sir, this is for you. And also maybe she can ask that question as well. That I know the lease agreement you were asking, that is for the enterprise lease. I can see that here, that you have for Fund 65 equipment for $185,000. Then we have a BMO Harris lease is $156,800, which is total to be about $341,000. That's totally separate. I believe Trustee Consados, her question is park and recreation and fleet, that we are budgeting $75,000 for that as well on that. That's a capital fleet. That what I'm looking at is that this is for the park and rec. It is for where we're going to use this, and I know you're asking for this equipment, $75,000.
Correct.
And also there are a lot more on the public works that we are purchasing, about $316,000. The nutshell is over here that we are doing about $982,800. The fleet for what we're saying is fire and chief, fire, and also for the police, enterprise lease. I don't even know what's the size of the fleet we have, and we need to kind of elaborate that a little bit more. That I know this is a 2026 budget. What we had in 2025, and I really is not clear. Even 27, 28, whatever that is, but we have this fleet capital budget. We need more clarification on this, that where those things are going.
So what we can do, Trustee Sabri, is that, if I'm hearing you correctly, we have 2 concerns about park and recreation, the $75,000, and then we also have the allotment for public works. If staff can do us if staff can tell us specifically what that money is going to be spent on. The $75,000 for Parks and Rec, do we know what the plan is for that? And then moving forward with Public Works. Do you need that information right now?
I don't need it right now, but I've been
Okay.
requesting a lot of information.
Okay.
that I have not received.
So what I'm going to ask staff to do then is with these numbers that are presented in this budget, particularly the $75,000 that Trustee Sabri is talking about, as well as the allotment for the Public Works Department, is if you could get back to the board and let us know what specifically those requests are for. What's that money going to be allotted for?
I guess sorry, are you talking Fund 65, the 75,000?
Yes, this is the information you have passed on to us.
Okay, so for the proposed budget in Fund 65, we have that 75,000 under other contractual services. You have the enterprise, the BMO, the proposed lease, and that would be the proposed financing we just spoke about to purchase the new 3 squads and the plow truck. That was my projected first annual payment on that lease. By the looks of it, the plow truck is $273,000, and then the squad cars range about $60,000 to purchase. So when we lease those payments together, I anticipate our lease payment based on our other lease, our BMO Harris, would be about $75,000 a year annual lease payment. That's where that $75,000 came from. In terms of the fleet, I can
show you the information here you have passed on to us. That the BMO Harris lease is totally separate than the Park and Recreation and Fleet is totally separate item. That's
that one, right?
Yeah.
The document.
Yes.
I would have to look at your sheet, trustee, but my proposed 75 was to make this year's lease payments.
Okay.
I can get you a list of all of our equipment. We have what's called rolling stock.
Yeah,
This was what we were.
Assistant Manager Guerra.
Did not go into that because of budget cuts. So we cut, this goes up into here.
Assistant Manager Guerra.
Sorry, hang on.
If we could also, in that request, is also give us the size of your fleet, what that entails, how many vehicles are a part of that, so that way, moving forward, the board has a broader knowledge of that.
Correct, I can do that. We have a inventory that we maintain monthly, so
Okay.
I can pass that on.
Trustee Sabri, will that suffice?
That should be, just for that, I do have some other questions.
Okay, go ahead and continue.
Under Park and Recreation again, that I have a listing here, that was the fiscal year 2026 building capital plan, demolition and repose of Iowa Center for $600,000. Is that still in the budget, that 2026, that we're going to do something with that?
That is, well, so some of that is the repurposing of the temporary fire station that was already approved in last year's fiscal budget. It's going to carry over. So I think that's last year's capital. We haven't updated it because until the proposed budget, we had made some cuts. But the Iowa Community Center conversion to be a temporary fire station and the Fire Station 81 work was bid together. I think it was about $600,000 for the don't quote me on the exact numbers, but it was around $600,000 was the portion for the repurposing of the ICC. We still have the conversion of Station 81, which was already previously approved by the board, and that's in the ballpark of, I think, about $1 million. Is that correct, Chief Stapleton? I think about $1 million.
That's, if I may, that is totally separate line, I'm reading it, you know.
That was last year's capital plan when we put together a 5-year plan. Was that included in this year's?
But this is what I received. This is 2026 from you, sir.
Earlier, but yes, when we made cuts from the 10 million down to the 5 million, we had to reshuffle some of these things. The 635,000 should still be in Fund 11, which is building improvements. So we do have money being carried over because we have to finish making the payments to the contractor for Station 81.
No, sir, you're not answering my question here. My question is the fire department already have this for the Station 81 and 82. That's a $1.3+ million just for that renovation part of it. I'm discussing here is that we're going to we're going to demo that Iowa Community Center after spending whatever we are fixing it this year.
That
And
was,
then we're going to go back and.
that was
demo it for
proposed at
6
one,
months.
that was proposed at one point in time. But we're not moving forward in '26 with that at this time.
Yeah, but it's part of your information you're giving me. It's not proposed, but then we have a draft budget here, and I'm looking at this, so I'm really, I don't know what you want me to look at it.
I can repackage what we have planned for the capital and present that what's been in the proposed budget, because some of those items had to be cut and relocated to make the budget deficit a little bit lower.
My question to you, Trustee Sabri, is the information that you have in front of you, when did you receive that information?
That, in this 2 or 3 meetings ago.
Okay, so since then, it seems like things have changed, and Assistant Manager Guerra, if you could do us a favor and update that for us and send that our way as well for us to.
I can do that. I apologize for not updating that and sending it sooner.
It's okay. All right. Trustee Kozar.
Just to be clear, the current budget that we're looking at is the one that's attached as the budget memo on our agenda tonight. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
Which is this one.
Trustee Constados.
I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that we're still going to get the recreation information that I asked for on the differences that's being asked for. And then I also had another question before I got interrupted. My question was also for 2026 for the recreation, where they're asking for 975,000. And I guess my question is, why is it so high?
Which fund are you referring to?
Pardon?
Which fund are you referring to for reference?
It says transfer to recreation fund,
Number, please.
501, it says. It's under. And then it says 26 review, 975,000. So we went in 2025 asking for 510, where we're spending 890, but now we're asking for 975 for next year. So my question is, why are we asking for close to $1 million for that fund?
We did lower that request from 975 to 931.5. Do you have, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I see
Okay.
that, but
Because I went through and reduced.
it should be 0 or smaller, correct?
The increase? Is that what you mean? Like, it shouldn't be more than 800 and, I'm not sure if I understand your question.
Well, I don't understand why we're asking for so much more than what we asked for in 2025. Is it based on because you're spending so much more? That's what I'm trying to clarify. I mean, you have to understand, these are dollar amounts that we're being asked to allot to everything. And when a resident is asking me questions about the money that we're spending, I don't want to put us in a deficit. So if we need to make more cuts, I'm just trying to understand what the money is going to be spent on. I think our residents want to know as well.
So there's a couple things. Up until this year, we weren't paying ComEd. Now we're being billed for ComEd. The NICOR gas is in this building is more expensive than it was in the Iowa Community Center. There's been cost of living increases in terms of what it costs for us to purchase things, to put programs on and so forth, and yet we haven't raised fees at all. And so that is the fees is something we're going to be looking at very closely. We didn't want to just rush into that and do it. We wanted to take our time and study, how things were looking and what direction we were going in. So there's some things that were out of our control. The number that is being requested is based on, what our expenditures are and what revenue we're predicting that we'll be bringing in. If we get an opportunity to, relook at fees, that will help. We are trying to work with sponsorships. We've talked about possibly selling sponsorships in different areas that we hadn't done before. That will increase revenue as well. So, that's what I can tell you in terms of the request for the transfer.
So then if we could just get information on what has actually been spent from the 510,000 to the 890,000, and maybe what you're expecting to do with the 931,000, because it's just, there's a big difference. I mean, if it was just a small difference, I wouldn't be questioning anything, but that's a lot of money and that's a big difference, and I just kind of really want to know what it's for. Especially since, the pool fund is so high, but now we're not spending it, but now it's already allocated there, so now it's money that's just going to sit there that we could have used for something else, but we can't do that because it was already budgeted in that department, correct?
So the $712,500, no, we're not going to move that to the swimming pool fund. We're going to leave it in the general fund. So we're only going to transfer $145,000 of that money this year into the swimming pool fund. So the difference of the 712 from the 145, so just 550, 575 is going to stay in the general fund. We are not moving that to the swimming pool fund.
Well, if we could get that information for the recreation center, I would appreciate that.
All good down there? Trustee Constados?
Hang on one second, I thought I had one more question, but I have to find it in all of the funds here that I'm going through. Looking for Fund 11. Fund 11, it might have been already answered in the Building Improvement Fund. Yeah. I think I'm okay
All right,
now, but I would like to see that information, please.
Trustee Kumar.
As far as the recreation department and the recreation is concerned, I do feel that maybe our fees are way too low for what we're providing. It should be a little bit more self-sufficient. I think a lot of the villages have more self-sufficiency. But because it was the first year, I think the board at that time wanted to get people in the door, so we kept the fees rather low, if I remember from my previous discussions on fees, that the fees were much lower than anticipated, and there was an expectation of some loss. This is the first year that this center has been built, so the costs of maintenance, we got to take into account to keep it for the next 30, 40 years. And so I feel that we as a board should be very careful in assessing the cost of maintenance in the future. And I do value Trustee Constado's questions on that, because that maintenance has to be in our budget. I have a feeling that maybe at one point in our previous administration, because the money, as you said, is in the pool fund. When it was together, part of that money, that 712, might have been meant for the recreation and the pool. And then when it was split apart again, which is the way it should be, and I really value what you've done, Director Mika, in making it all clean again, I think that maybe that's where your difference is coming between the pool fund and the actual recreation fund, because at one point it must have been together. So when it was together, asking for $700,000 for both the recreation department and the pool, to me, kind of makes okay sense. But at this point, when it's split apart again, if you've still left that 700 there, obviously it doesn't make sense, right? So, and it's not going to be transferred over, is what Director Mika is clearly telling us in this, but I would ask that we look at fees carefully this time around, because we should be self-sufficient with regards to our recreation department, because they have the ability to take fees. The pool per se, we don't have as much flexibility, nor does parks, right? Parks pretty much is going to be a transfer from the general fund always. So that's something I will be asking that we look carefully at.
One of the things that I'll say, and that I've learned over the years, is that municipal budgets aren't easy. They're not always plain language either, and unless you deal with it on a daily basis, we up here as a board might not understand it as well. One of the things that I would like to request of the village moving forward in 2026 is to move forward with another type of budget workshop, and starting in June or this summer, where we could have some guidance, some education given to us about how to better understand municipal budgets, about the different accounts as well. I think this should be a public meeting that our residents should also be allowed to view, so that way they could try to understand municipal budgets as well. We have had a lot of changes over the last year, and so this budget here is being transferred by many different hands involved in this. So I understand that the board has lots of questions regarding this, but one of the things that we have to do is remind ourselves that our staff are the professionals in their fields, and when they come to us with these requests and more particular about their portions of the budget, we have to understand that they are also trying their best to make their departments run well. I don't believe that any staff member would go out of their way to jeopardize that whatsoever. So in coming this summer, I'm requesting that the village hold another budget workshop that is more educational, that helps us understand the ins and outs of a municipal budget, because they aren't easy. My second request is that, and I guess it's not a request, it's more of a request of the Community Recreation Commission, is that starting in January, I would like that commission to start assessing the fees and programs for both the recreation center and the pool. I would like that commission to kind of dive in to see what's working and what's not. Our rec center here has been open almost a year now. We should be getting a handle on how operations work, what we need, what we don't need. And so my request for the commission when assessing these fees and programs is to find out what's working for us and what maybe we could do differently. I do like Trustee Kumar's idea about being a little bit more cost effective, but now that we've been here for a year, we really should be fine-tuning our operations here. And those are my requests of the village and the commission moving forward. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very quickly, we're taking notes on everything, so we will get the board everything that they are requesting. As far as the rec center and programming, traditionally, park districts, park departments, wherever they are, it's a zero-sum game, meaning they're not looking to turn a profit, just to break even. What we've already discussed, what I've discussed with Director Howe going into next year, now we will have a full year's data of all the programming, is to do a cost-benefit analysis of all the programming to see what will work and what doesn't moving forward. So that is our design moving into 26. We'll do the same thing with the pool. We'll add that to the pool as well. As far as the budget in and of itself, for staff, this was a reclamation project, is what everyone needs to know. There were so many line items and so many dollars that we had to move that made sense. What we should do, and what President Patrick has prescribed, is have a charrette or a meeting between board and staff, and I would welcome that. And then what we can do is also build out anything that the board would like in advance to see a better breakdown of different accounts, so we could prepare that for you in a public meeting.
I agree with that. I think the board up here are very involved in the community and the reach to our residents. And so I think that our board does have a good pulse on the community, and having the opportunity to have a meeting like that where we could sit down with staff and kind of go over our requests, what's important to us, definitely helps. I think that needs to start sooner rather than later. That's why I'm suggesting coming next summer in 2026. But also, like I said, just more of a breakdown of what municipal budgets are supposed to look like and how they normally operate. I have a motion for the ordinance by Trustee Kozar and seconded by Trustee Constados. Could we do a roll call vote, please?
Yeah, well, I guess we can vote. I mean,
Okay.
Trustee Cordova?
no.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
I'm going to yes, but with the provision.
Okay, so that ordinance passes. What I will say moving forward is, board, any further questions that you have for staff, please CC me on those emails so that way we could have staff answer those directly. All right, we are going to move on to 12B. Okay. An ordinance levying taxes for the fiscal year of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, commencing on the first day of January 2024 and ending on the 31st day of December 2025, collectible in 2026. Do I have a motion for the ordinance?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Constados. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Kumar. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
No.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Okay, moving along to 12C, an ordinance abating the tax hereto levied for the year 2025 to pay the principal of interest on $3,010,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2017 of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. As part of the annual property tax process, the village routinely abates a property tax levy for debt service when it has certain funds available to pay the debt. Abating the property tax means we are informing the county that we do not need property tax revenues to pay the debt service on these bonds. These bonds were issued as part of our plan to manage TIF 3 debt, which had insufficient revenue to cover increasing debt service payments.
Do I have a motion for the ordinance?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Kozar, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Constados, is there any discussion? Trustee Cordova.
Yeah, TIF 3 sounds like it's struggling to generate revenue. Do we have a forecast on when it'll be to where we think it should be?
Manager Rivas.
None that we can provide you at this time, but we can do that in the future. We can provide a forecast moving forward.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move along to 12D, an ordinance abating the tax hereto levied for the year 2025 to pay the principal of an interest of $2,645,000 general obligation bonds, alternate bonds, Series 2018A of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois. Do I have a motion for the ordinance?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Constados, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Kozar. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving along to 12E, an ordinance abating the tax hereto levied for the year 2025 to pay the principal of interest on $2,735,000 general obligation alternate bonds, Series 2019A of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois. Do I have a motion for the ordinance? Trustee Kumar, do I have a second?
I'll make the second.
Trustee Constados. Is there any discussion? Trustee Kumar.
I just want to say that we have a lot of these general obligation bonds that come at the end, and when we have that discussion in June, I would like a complete discussion of what general obligation bonds are standing, when they come, when they're going off the books and stuff like that at that discussion, so.
I agree. I think that's a good idea if we can make that happen.
We've compiled a spreadsheet, and we can get that for you.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we are going to, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. We're going to move along to 12F, ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, waiving the bidding requirements and approving the purchase of 2 striker power chairs in an amount not to exceed $275.16. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Staff recommends approval of this ordinance to waive the competitive bid process and authorize the village manager to purchase 2 Expedition power chair stairs and related accessories from Stryker Sales LLC of Chicago, Illinois, the sole provider, in the amount of $30,275.16.
Okay, do I have a motion for the ordinance? Trustee Sabri, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Constados. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. We're going to move along to resolutions. 13A, a resolution approving a lease and museum service agreement with the Villa Park Historical Society. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. This resolution would approve a lease agreement with the Villa Park Historical Society for the village's property located at 220 South Villa Avenue. Under the terms of this renewal, the VPHS would continue to occupy and manage the Villa Park Historical Museum and Visitors Welcome Center on that property. Staff recommends approval, and a scope of work that the society is requesting of us is on page 125 of your packet.
Do I have a motion for the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Constados, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Trustee Sabri, is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, moving forward to 13B, a resolution of Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a side letter agreement to the collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Villa Park and the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police Labor Council on behalf of Villa Park police sergeants and lieutenants amending uniform allowances. Do I have a motion for the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
All right, Trustee Sabri, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Constados. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I missed one there. Okay, 13C, a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a side letter agreement to the collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Villa Park and the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police Labor Council on behalf of Villa Park patrol officers amending uniform allowances. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. The resolution would approve an amendment to the collective bargaining agreement between the village and the Patrol Officers Union in the form of a side letter. The goal of the side letter is to clarify the procedures for procuring ballistic vests and outside carriers for patrol officers. Staff recommends approval.
Do I have a motion for the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Who wants it?
I'll take it.
All right. Trustee Constados, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Trustee Sabri, is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Constados?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Sabri?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving along to 13D, a resolution of Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a collective bargaining agreement with the International Association of Firefighters, Local 2392. Do I have a motion for the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Constados, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Trustee Sabri, is there any discussion? Trustee Cordova.
We've moved a lot of these from our last agenda to this one because there were some questions. I just want to make sure if those questions were answered. I can't remember who exactly it was. I know Trustee Alfano's not here, and I think she may have had a question, but just want to make sure that whoever had those questions got them answered.
Trustee Cordova, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
I believe those questions were answered, so yes, I don't have any questions.
Okay, is there any more discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova.
Yes.
Trustee Constados.
Yes.
Trustee Kozar.
Yes.
Trustee Kumar.
Yes.
Trustee Sabri.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, moving along to 13E, a resolution of Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a side letter agreement to the collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Villa Park and the International Association of Firefighters, Local 2392, regarding earned benefits and staffing. Manager Rivas.
I think we just did that one.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we're on F.
Oh,
Sorry.
did I do that?
Yes, sir, I think we're on F.
No, we need to do 13E.
We're on E.
Did that, right? We're
Oh, did I have a wrong one?
No.
We're on F, I think.
Can I just do that? Okay.
Just do the bargaining.
Okay, so 13E, a resolution of Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a side letter agreement to the collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Villa Park and the International Association of Firefighters, Local 2392, regarding earned benefits and staffing.
Okay, you're right, yeah, we have to do that one.
Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. My apologies. The resolution would approve an amendment to the CBA between the village and the firefighters union in the form of a side letter. The goal of this side letter is to clarify future staffing levels and the procedures for certain benefits, allowing the switch to a calendar year schedule in the new collective bargaining agreement. Staff recommends approval.
Do I have a motion for the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Trustee Constados, is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova.
Yes.
Trustee Constados.
Yes.
Trustee Kozar.
Yes.
Trustee Kumar.
Yes.
Trustee Sabri.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Moving along to 13F, a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing and approving an agreement with American Conservation and Billing Solutions Incorporated to provide Aquahawk software for water utility billing. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Aquahawk software is a customer service portal to allow residents to view their water usage in real time with the ability to set notifications alerting them of exceeding user-defined usage of water or defined bill limit to help reduce high water bills due to small water leaks and provide more transparency for residents. Additionally, the software will allow a connection to pay their water bill directly into the BS&A software. The agreement is for a one-time setup fee of $17,500 and then an annual fee of $15,132. Staff recommends approval.
Do I have a motion for the resolution?
Make the motion.
Okay, Trustee Kozar, do I have a second?
I'll make
Trustee Kumar? Trustee Kumar, is there any discussion? Trustee Kumar.
I have a question. How many individuals, I know my parents had this issue where they had a toilet leak and it was very expensive, $700 a bill. Do you come across a lot of that? Do we have complaints of that sort? Why are we implementing this software and why is it on our side?
I have just the person to answer that question. Assistant Village Manager Mike Guerra.
Thank you, Your Honor. To answer your question, Trustee, yes. You'd be surprised at how many high water usage calls we get, which is significant. And then significantly, as you said, small leaks, just even a small leak in your toilet is gallons a day and can lead to high usage. So what the software allows is a direct portal to your meters. We've swapped out, I think 100% of our large meters have been swapped out, and over 50% of our smaller meters have been swapped out to that per gallon. So you can see in real time by logging in, creating an account of that usage. And you can set those defined units so that you can alert If you're out of your house for a vacation, hey, let me know if I'm using more than 10 gallons of water a day, alert me so I'm gone. Or, hey, my bill is getting way too high, alert me so I can look at these and get these leaks repaired. So I wouldn't say, I guess I can defer to Finance Director Micah, but I want to say we probably get high usage calls nearly daily. Especially when they start getting their bills, then we have a high usage because high influx of calls, because a lot of people don't know until they get that bill that they may have a small leak in a downstairs bathroom, those sort of things, and then they're caught off guard. So this is to help alleviate that so they're not caught off guard.
Trustee Kumar?
And what is our process usually when you get that call? Do we waylay some of the cost on ourselves, or does it fall always on the resident?
Unfortunately, it falls on the resident. If it goes through the meter, it's their responsibility to pay. That's what this software is hopefully to help provide that. Because now what we can see is with these new meters that we've been installing the last several years, we can see, I believe it collects like every 14 minutes it will download, or every hour download the information, and you can almost see per minute of usage on the high ones. If not, you see every 1,000 gallons before we got there. So what the procedure usually is unfortunately it goes through. We have to pay DWC that cost of that water, which is nearly half of our rate. And then we have other costs, so that they do have to pay. So this is to kind of help alleviate that from the residents.
I have some more questions along that line. So now AquaHawk, is this the only software that does this? Why did we choose this software?
Sure. So our company that we have the meters with is called Census Analytics. And Census Analytics 2 years ago used to have its own customer portal. Like the DuPage County had it, several other the local municipalities all use Census. Not all, but a majority does use Census. Unfortunately, when we went to go enroll into that program and bring that before the board, they decided that they were no longer supporting their customer service portal and recommended AquaHawk. We held off for about 2 years. Part of it was because we knew we were going through the BSNA implementation and we didn't want to pay to implement it twice and cause that confusion. Secondly, there is other softwares, but during my research, I found a lot of them also want to provide the billing. AquaHawk is just a portal. It's just providing that connection between our meters and the resident, and then we're providing the one-time connection that if they want to pay their bill online through that app or that website, it connects directly into BSNA to eliminate one step for the resident. Otherwise, you could pay my bill, it would send you over to the BSNA page, then you got to log in again. We're just trying to eliminate that step so that's seamless. So there's other softwares, however, this was what was recommended by Census, and we want to make sure that that software works well with our software so that's seamless for the residents.
One more question on the,
Sure.
The last question I have is suppose we implement this, how do we get and how do the residents get their information? How do they sign up? What is the process and how are we going to roll it out? Because I think it is important. I do know that a lot of our residents do get upset when they get that sudden $500, $800 bill that they really can't afford or whatever. So as a service, I think it's a good service, but I think we need to roll it out so people know what they can do and how are they going to get the messages. Is it a cell phone mechanism, email mechanism? Is there some particular mechanism?
So with the software, I guess there's two questions in there. I'll answer the first one is the notifications to residents when they sign up. They have the option to put in how they wish to be contacted, whether they wish to have a phone call, a text message, or an email. That is an option in the software. And then additionally, we have that ability, say that we have a water main break. We now use Code Red. With the software, we can actually target which accounts that are affected and send it out blast. And they'll get that message on the way they prefer to be contacted, whether that's a phone call, text message, or email. In terms of the rollout, it's a 5-week implementation is what they're telling us. Our goal is to start a media blasting as soon as it's about ready to go through email, or probably through email. I know we had some different contacts through the newsletters, Facebook, website, talk with probably utility billing, put it on the utility bill. Maybe we can put an insert if we can get approval for that. And then to be honest, the majority, I'm assuming there's no sign up, is the moment they get a high bill, they call in and we say, we have this software where you can view, like in your situation, hey, you had a toilet running, we now have the software that you can set limits and let yourself know if that's occurring. I'm assuming that's going to be the majority of the signups. But our goal is to try to roll it out several times to make sure that the residents are aware. And I can refer to the manager.
I was just going to say very quickly, is there anything you would suggest marketing-wise that you'd want us to roll this out in addition?
I would get it out, especially if people have had a bill in the past. They're also going to want to sign up, right? If you've had that bad experience, this is where I would market it. I think it's a great service for our residents that they're getting from Villa Park that you want to market. So I think that's a positive. Overall, that's something I would want to roll out. A date when it's fully rolled out, I think we need to get that date out as well, in a clear fashion to the residents so that they know.
I too would like to see that. I think that's a great idea. We've rolled out some other programs in the past before that didn't really have a good liking to, and for good reason. So I agree with that, and I believe that that's something that we could pull off here, Manager Rivas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Trustee Sabri?
Yes, my question is that the water bill has gone up since 2010, May 1st of 2010, from $5.95 per 1,000 gallon to, as of today, January 1st, at $10.54. And also, as you use the water, then it goes into a sewer side, and then those charges are gone up as well. So with this addition, residents are going to be looking at even increase part of that. It will be a higher bill because everyone is going to be affected by this, because everyone is going to be paying for this. Not only installation fees we're looking at, which is about $17,500, just the software initial setup fee, and then annually after that. I mean, I think this all need to be clarified, and how you're going to roll out and what the costs are going to be. It needs to be more clear. And this is, I mean, we keep adding on to those services. Half of the services, half of the residents don't even use.
One of the things that I'll say, Trustee Sabri, is that I agree with you that we have to roll this program out to our residents to be clear and transparent so that way everybody understands where their money is going. Water is not free. We have to purchase it too, and the cost of water throughout the entire area is always going up regularly. Ultimately, though, I think a program like this will help save residents money by being able to identify the leaks in their households or whatnot. And when we talk about bills that are surprises to residents because they might have one of these leaks, these are something that would help alleviate that, and ultimately, in the long run, I believe, save our residents money.
Your Honor, if you may, I think the annual cost is around $15,000. We have about 7,400 accounts, so that's about $2 account per year. Spread that over 12 months. It's a few cents that we feel that the current rate can incorporate with minimal impact to the residents.
And I actually appreciate a program like this as well. I mean, any homeowner out there has always had a leaky faucet, a leaky toilet, a shower or whatnot that you might not know or might not utilize that often. So being able to have access to a portal to allow you to see where your usage is and when your peak moments are is extremely beneficial.
And I apologize, I didn't have a slide, but what this program will do is actually, if you log in at any point in time, it will tell you where your bill currently stands as of usage today, and it will project that to the end of the month so you can see how you're tracking towards the end of that month. So it's just one of those, we have that information, our staff can see it internally at any given moment. It's just trying to provide some of that data that we have to the residents is the point of this customer service portal.
Trustee Cordova.
Just to get back to the marketing piece, I think when we did a survey for the rec center 10 years ago, we sent a link to the survey on the water bill because we knew everyone was going to get it. So, even if it's a quick second that people look at their water bill, I think that would be the best spot to do it, because if they're looking at it already and say, hey, you can track this. I love this program because you can, number one, the leaks, but then also you can forecast how much you're going to spend. You can not water the grass every week now, things like that. But definitely in the water bill will be huge. They're going to get it.
I agree. I think Trustee Cordova brings up a good point, is that this is a service that we use that's underutilized in the village, and that we could utilize that water bill more regularly to push out information to our residents. Trustee Constados?
Thank you. First, I'd like to say, as a business owner, I think this is a great program for a business owner as well. I can't tell you how many times we've had running toilets, and you don't realize it till the bill comes. So it's not only going to benefit our residents, but it's going to benefit our business owners in the area as well, because I would assume that they'll be able to utilize the program too.
Correct. Anybody that has an account with the village is eligible. Similarly, if you have multiple locations in town, if you own multiple properties, it can link all your properties onto your one account login. So you can scroll through your properties to see how all the properties are looking at any given point.
I have a couple more questions real quick. Is this amount that projected into the budget that we've
Yes.
discussed already? Awesome. And it says the first year setup fee is, I just lost it.
$1,750.
Correct, 17,000, and then the 15,132. So is the first year going to include both those fees, or is it the 17,500 the first year and then 15,132 every year thereafter?
It would be both those fees the first year. So it would be a $10,000 setup fee, and then there's a $7,500 integration fee into BSNA for the one-time sign-in. Those are all one-time costs, and then the $15,000
For the first year?
for the first year. I think there's options if you want to pay monthly or annually.
Okay, so
I would have to verify
just
that.
to be transparent and clear for the residents and for us, the first year is the 17,500 plus 15,132.
Correct.
Okay. My last question is, it says here in the group messaging module that that there's additional fees required for that. Is that going to be included? Did we already put that in what we're asking for, or no?
So we have so many messages that are included in that 15,000, and if we exceed those, then it will go up. I think for the first several years, we're not anticipating exceeding the allowance of notifications.
And then just one last quick question. Is this going to be something that can be an app too, or is it something you can only access through online, through the website?
I think currently it's only online,
Okay.
and not an app.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
I'll verify, because that's a good question, and I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's online. I'm not 100% sure they have an app for it yet.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
Trustee Kumar?
I think this, just one more thing, this is going to pay for itself in terms of labor cost, right? Because there are so many people answering questions at the village level in terms of, why is my bill so high? They have to spend the time to look at it. Now you can just point it to someone. So I think also in many ways, this is not too costly for the service we're getting, given the labor intensity of every time someone gets angry over a bad bill, which I know because my parents were like in that state just less than a half a year ago, and said, what are you doing, Trustee Kumar? You're not helping us with this water bill for sure. And so I can see how that can affect it. So I'm very, very happy with, this system and this idea in general. And I know that I actually bought a gadget to do just this, and it was over $250. So this is great.
All right, I have a motion by Trustee Kozar and seconded by Trustee Kumar for the resolution. Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova.
Yes.
Trustee Constados.
Yes.
Trustee Kozar.
Yes.
Trustee Kumar.
Yes.
Trustee Sabri.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, moving along to 13G, a resolution authorizing the expansion of the scope of work for the Villa Park Fire Station 82 renovation project and the approval of an amendment to the professional architectural and engineering consulting services agreement with Kluber Incorporated at the increased amount from $24,700 to $48,210. Manager Rivas.
Thank you, Mr. President. This resolution authorizes the village manager to execute an amendment to the agreement with Kluber Incorporated for professional architectural and engineering consulting services related to the renovation of Fire Station 82. Due to an expanded project scope, the cost of these consulting services has increased from $48,210. Staff recommends approval of this resolution.
Do I have a motion for the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Sabri, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Constados? Do I have any discussion? Trustee Constados?
Yes, thank you. Can we just get a little bit more clarification on why the amount doubled to just say that, there was an increase in service? I need a little bit more information than that.
And on top of that, too, I'd like to see the difference between, is this for consulting services or is this actual for project that was uncovered? I know that when we first brought this to the board, we talked about it as a peeling of an onion with many layers.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. So if you recall, the original scope consisted of the interior renovations for the existing Fire Station 82, consisting of the locker area improvements, the single-user ADA toilet and shower space, and then a separate shower that didn't have to be ADA. But with that, they would have to put in a janitor closet. And then this included the improvements to the apparatus bay that's in desperate need for repair with the epoxy coating. And they have 2 overhead garage doors, but it was actually the 2 entrance doors that go from the bay floor into the fire station itself, and then possibly the new concrete apron that is deteriorating in front. So what we did was, the reason why this scope was expanded, and this was just for the design and architectural drawings for it, was just like Station 81, where since we had all of the contractors, we had the architect, to optimize the best contractor pricing, to minimize future disruptions, since we did have that temporary fire station space where we could actually move out, and then ensure long-term code compliance and functionality. So working with Superintendent Roche, who's in charge of buildings, we decided that why don't we try to combine all of the projects that need to get done at Station 82 and get them done at one time, especially when we're actually going to be out of there and have a functioning firehouse right on the north side of town. So that it kind of doesn't disrupt the operations of the fire department, because we can't really remove it in and out of the fire station. So that is why the cost doubled. That doesn't mean we have to do everything that they have listed, per se. So now we can go and see, well, how much is budgeted? Maybe we can push that a little bit, maybe till fall of '26, and possibly spread it over 2 budget years to try to reduce some of the cost in one budget. So that's why it is. And you are correct when you say an onion. There's was really no good way of putting the bathrooms on the first floor. So we're just going to settle with just putting one in the basement, which is not ideal, but the footprint, it's all we can do. We really do need the shower. So, and we need the improvements to the bay floor, and the front concrete apron is cracked, and it moves every time the fire truck drives on it, so.
Is there any more questions? Are there any more questions for the chief? Seeing none? Okay, thank you.
Thank you again for your support on this project.
Trustee Constados.
I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you, because every time you're asked a question, you always have all the information to answer it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion by Trustee Sabri, seconded by Trustee Constados. Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cordova.
Yes.
Trustee Constados.
Yes.
Trustee Kozar.
Yes.
Trustee Kumar.
Yes.
Trustee Sabri.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Moving along to item 14, is there any unfinished business? Okay, is there any new business? Trustee Kumar.
I wanted to add, we did do that $10,000 transfer for the food pantries, and I did vote for that. But I do have a concern that our budget doesn't include a line item or a section for charitable donations in general. I am not against charitable donations, but I do think with our budget the way it is that we need to keep a cap on it and look at it a little bit more carefully. So I would appreciate if there was a line item for that included where we had a certain amount that, you know, we don't go above, and it gives a little flexibility for that.
Trustee Constados?
Thank you. I'd like to know if, would we need to make a policy that kind of, or do we already have a policy that stipulates when something is budgeted that you cannot go over. I'd like to see something put in play where monthly departments give a report to the board saying, we budgeted 500,000 this month, here's where we're at. We have spent 100,000 so far. This month we've spent this month we've spent that. And if they see that they're coming, let's say it's October and they're at their amount, that they cannot go over that amount until it's presented to us saying, here's what we need extra, here is why, and can we have it?
Okay, I think that's a good request too, and that's something that I would like to see moving forward as well. Is that my request to the village is that moving forward in 2026 regarding our current budget is if we could have a monthly department report that shows us where we stand currently each month with that budget. I understand that budgets are fluid and that we may need to make further requests, but that helps us as a board keep on track and understand the long haul with that budget. Manager Rivas?
If I could just ask with a nod, yes or no, could we also add a percentage of the overall budget in the line item? Is that possible through the BS&A software?
Oh.
Right, let's say we're in April and we have to see where we're at in a particular department. Let's say we're at 25%. Is there a line item in BS&A that will allow us to say percentage of overall budget?
Okay.
Would that be acceptable?
Yes, that would.
Okay.
I just have a couple more things too, if I may. Permits have been coming up, and we even got an email from a resident in reference to it. So I mentioned it at our last meeting. I'd like to see after the first of the year, a cow maybe presented. Let's get our residents out with our permit department, and let's talk about, what type of changes we can do to that department. Who better to ask than the people that live here that are doing work to their businesses and their homes? Let's get some feedback on what they think might be a good idea. Times change all the time, fees change. There might be certain things we don't have to ask for permits for anymore. If you're just, for example, changing out your existing kitchen cabinets to put a nicer, more modern one up. I'd really think that might be beneficial. It's something that we all campaigned on. It's something residents have talked about for years. And I think their feedback would be great.
Excellent.
I'm sorry, could I have a quick comment on that?
What I wanted to say really quick, though, too, was that Director House, our new Director of Community and Economic Development, hosted an event recently regarding something like that. I think that's a brilliant idea. I think that's a great way to move forward, is the public education piece of that. When we talk about a cow, if we do have a cow on this, I would like to see it more geared towards that educational point of view, what the differences are between what we used to do and what we're doing now, and also have that community feedback or that input, so that way moving forward we can help do some of those things. My request, though, for Director House is let's try to do that maybe regularly if we can. I'm not sure what the plan is moving forward. I do believe it is a great idea. I think we need to look at also the timing and the dates of when it would be easier for our residents to actually get there, to be a part of those discussions as well. But all in all, I agree with you, Trustee Constados, and I think we can tag team this together with Director House.
I have something else, if that's okay. A big thing that's been being talked about, as well as the streetlights on St. Charles Road, and I have to agree, they seem pretty dim. I don't know if it's the type of bulb that's in there, or if there's something we can do to change that, or maybe if it's a suggestion we can pass on to a commission who might be in charge of that. But it is something that needs to be addressed. It's really dim driving down St. Charles Road, and there's a big difference when you go down to other areas. So if we could put that on our business as well, I would appreciate that.
Manager Rivas.
You stole 100% of my thunder, sir.
I apologize. All right. Director House, great idea. Keep up the good work. Is there any other new business? Trustee Kozar.
Last week I had talked about videoing the adjudication hearings, and I just want to keep that on the radar, that that's moving forward.
Yes, I did reach out to our adjudication officer, Erica Thomas, and I did inform her, and she is absolutely okay with that. And so moving forward, we will be doing that. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it by the first hearing, but as soon as we possibly can, we will be recording those. And we're talking about audio and video, correct, sir? Okay.
And that will be present on our YouTube channel as well?
Correct.
Okay, excellent. I think that's a great idea as well. It gives our community a little bit more insight as to how that process works as well. Is there any other new business? Trustee Cordova.
Two things. I know that in Q1 26, we're going to be talking about a 5-year financial plan or a financial forecast. I'd like that to be a cow or some kind of presentation of sorts to our residents, as well as the water and sewer rate study that we'll be doing as well. So I think those are two really important items that residents are going to want to know, and I think we should have a presentation of sorts.
Sure. Manager Reeves.
We can shoot for February, and we will include those two items in the February cow, and then if one item runs over, we can hold it over to March, the second subject.
I appreciate it.
Trustee Kumar.
Just a quick update. I think the financial question was good as to how far we are in a budget, but I think the financial report itself is going to show us that if we get the data. So I will ask just a very simple, if you find things are getting close to 100% or, near there, maybe just point that out, Director Mika, at one point, that we're getting close to that cap that we set in our budget, and that will help us as well look through the budget.
Trustee Constados.
I just want to say, I think that might be I would think it would be more of a department head that should point that out. I guess my request is more of, for the departments to kind of keep an eye on what they're spending and then, report to us where they're kind of at. And then if they're coming close, say, hey, we're coming close.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm not against it, but I think it'll also come out pretty clearly through the budget, which is what Manager Rivas is saying. Because if that percentage is reported, then we know they're getting close to the 100%. Now, the thing is, sometimes in the budget, there's a lot of items that we're not looking at all the time, and so I'm just asking that if it is getting close and we want that report from the department head as to why they're getting close to that, it's nice to be told in advance that we're getting close to the 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, is there any other new business? All right, seeing none, we do not have any village commission reports or a village clerk's report. We will go to item 18, village trustees report, and start on my left. Trustee Kumar.
Just a few things. The holidays are coming up, and I just want to say happy holidays to everyone. If you celebrate Christmas, happy Christmas. If you celebrate Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. If you already celebrated Eid, well, just celebrate with your children. Have a nice time during the holidays. And whatever's coming up, your harvest festivals, I hope that all of you have a very, very merry time.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Sabri.
I'd like to say thank you to our police chief, Todd Kubish, that he responded to my request within 1 hour. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. Same thing for Chief Appleton, sir. Thank you for taking care of the information I was looking for very promptly. Appreciate your service. Very good. Thank you. Again, however you celebrate your holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, however that is, all the best. Enjoy, stay healthy. Happy New Year.
Okay, thank you. On my right, Trustee Constados.
Thank you. I would like to thank all of the department heads, especially the ones that I reach out to that get back to me right away, and the ones that take time to set up appointments for me to sit and meet. I really appreciate that. I'm new to this. but I'm open to learning about anything and everything, and the time that you take to help me is very much appreciated. Thank you. I just want to say as well, Merry Christmas, or whatever it is you celebrate. To everybody, I hope you have a wonderful holidays with your family. Life is short. Enjoy the moments. Put your phone down. And Happy New Year and safe New Year to everyone coming up. And here's hopefully to a wonderful 2026 coming for Villa Park and everybody that's in it. Thank you.
Trustee Cordova.
Everyone has covered off on most of what I said, but there's been a lot of horrific stuff that's been happening in the world in the last few weeks, and there's a lot of pain happening. So I hope that people are able to take a little bit of time during the holiday to kind of take a little reset. A little bit to what Trustee Constato said. Enjoy your family, enjoy your time. There's resources out there for you all. If you're not feeling great about yourself, there's resources, reach out, but take care of yourselves and be safe, and happy holidays.
Trustee Kozar.
So we just passed an $88 million budget, and I just want to remind the board that I know it's difficult going through that. I've done it now, this is the 5th time, and it's a lot of information. But keep in mind, we get a second bite at the apple as things come our way, and we can make amendments as well. So this is, although we passed the budget, it's not the end of our budgeting. So keep asking those questions. I know, Trustee Sabri, you're still looking for detailed organizational charts. Let's get that information to him in the next week or so you can have that. And you can continue doing the research and doing the understanding, have those talks with our various department heads. And, come the first of the year, if we've got things that we want to modify and do, we still can do that. It's not the end, it's not written in stone. And let's give some grace to our village manager and our various department heads. So we have a new manager, 6 months old. You're crossing the line from being new to existing, but in that 6 months, and optimistically, you've come a long way. In that you walked into, what some may argue was some mismanagement and some failed oversight by those that should have been in place doing that. The board frequently was given misinformation. I feel that has stopped. And I feel that the board now has a good line of communication through our manager's office, and I appreciate that. I certainly feel that way. The budgeting last year was a mess. We as trustees did not get a budget until Mr. Rivas became Manager Rivas, and then got us that budget so we could start following along. And in a short amount of time, we had to then come up with the 26 budget. So it was a lot of work very quickly, and we've come up with pretty good, and we're going to keep working to get even better. And I think that we've made a lot of good strides here. And I'm glad to see what it is, and I'm very optimistic of what 26 will bring. It's going to be a tough year. We started in a deficit, and we've got work to do. And Manager Rivas, you've assembled a good team, and I feel very confident in the team that is before us, sitting right here, to accomplish that. So I appreciate it, and thank you. So we're going into the holidays. We get a break from seeing each other for a month. It'll be delightful. Enjoy your holidays, and look forward to seeing everybody safely back here, or hopefully back in our village hall come 2026. But let's all be patient with the staff and all the challenges that they have to overcome. They're doing a fine job, and stick with it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So for my report, I want to thank everybody that came out to our first ever Village Town Hall meeting. It was an opportunity for our residents to meet with our commissions and other organizations. And part of the volunteers and the lifeline that helps Villa Park grow. But that's not it. That's not all. There's more to it, and it's not just one person on this dais or one staff member or commission member that makes Villa Park successful. It's all of us together, and that includes our staff as well. And I would like to take this opportunity to introduce some of our staff members to our public and show our appreciation for them. Sergeant Ruby, can you please approach the dais? Beeline right over here, sir. Right to me. Don't worry about the podium. Right to me, sir. You don't have to square those corners with me. Sergeant Ruby, do me a favor.
Yes.
This is for you, sir.
Thank you.
If you could do me a favor and stand in front of the
Blue screen?
blue screen until I tell you otherwise.
Yes, sir.
All right. Can I please have Village Engineer Kevin Mantles?
You could not make it
He
tonight.
could not make it tonight. Could I please have Assistant Director Recconelli? Dan, if you could do me a favor and stand right next to Brian. Yes. You're welcome. Human Resource Manager Dan McCann. Sir, Merry Christmas. Yeah, please. You could also have Chief Stapleton. Chief? Thanks. Welcome. Please. Absolutely. Thank you. Director Michelle House. Michelle. There you go. You're welcome. Please. We have Chief Todd Kubish. Chief. Thank you. You're welcome, please. Director Salerno. Rich. There you go. Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Director Susie Micah, please. Assistant Village Manager Mike Guerra. Mike. Merry Christmas. You too, please. Manager Rivas. If you could go ahead and please take a step over there. You're welcome. Now, our staff up here is doing this on the daily to help make Villa Park a better place. And it's not just about us up here, it's not just about our volunteers, but it is about our staff as well. And I'd like to take a moment just to read about some of the accomplishments that they've had over this last year. Over the last year, we've hired a new manager, we've hired a new assistant manager, finance director, community and economic development director, a police chief, a parks and recreation director, a human resource manager, and village administrative aides. They've processed and responded to 47 expired FOIAs left by previous administration. We've also accomplished a comprehensive plan adopted in April after multi-year process of creation of approval. We implemented BS&A software with a new permit portal, including business registrations and licensing. 1,744 permits issued to date in 2025, 103 more permits than 2024, with 2,800 reviews and 8 new homes and 1 new apartment building constructed in 2025. We've had 17 residential additions completed. We've had new developments including Knollcrest, Sturley Funeral Home, Aero Trucking, Rose Paving, the Villa Park Recreation Center, and ABA Revolution. 26 Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals considerations for variations, special uses, and rezoning considerations. Increase in code enforcement staff to increase compliance with property maintenance codes. We are now providing monthly financial reports to the board, as none have been provided previously, to increase transparency and community trust. We've made significant progress in clearing a major backlog of bank reconciliations. Previously, 12 bank accounts were 12 months behind. Where thorough focused efforts and improved processes, the department has successfully brought 9 of the 12 accounts fully up to date. We've successfully launched an online payment option for place of eating taxes, allowing businesses to submit payments electronically. We've completed planning and construction to convert the Iowa Community Center into a temporary fire station and finalized plans for Station 81's shower and HVAC improvements. We've replaced 27 aging village AEDs and provided in-house CPR, AED, and first aid recertification for village personnel through 4 certified instructors. Implemented new frontline to complete employee evaluations. We've implemented improved FOIA programs and Civic Plus for all village FOIA requests. We've moved into the newly built recreation center. We've completed the Oslam project at Lions Park, hosted successful events such as Super Sensational Saturdays, Bicycle Scavenger Hunt, Brewfest, Halloween Happenings, and Holiday Train Ride. Saw increased enrollment in multiple programs that include summer camps, pickleball, preschool, and basketball. And we currently have over 1,800 members at our fitness center. We've promoted chiefs. We've promoted a new training sergeant. The Jackson Pond Improvement Project wrapped up construction in its final phase. Construction of approximately 2.6 miles of public sidewalks throughout the village, including both installation of new sidewalks where none have been previously existed, as well as replacement of existing sidewalks that were previously deteriorated. It facilitated the replacement of 54 water service lines that were identified as containing lead or galvanized materials, and coordinated the planting of more than 150 new parkway trees throughout the village. And that's just a small list of the accomplishments that our staff has accomplished this year. And I would just like to take this moment to give them a round of applause. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Our staff is the backbone of the village. They are what makes this happen. And they help us with the day-to-day operations, and we can't be more grateful for our staff for helping Villa Park become and stay one of the best places to live here in the country. So again, thank you to our staff. Thank you for all that you do. And as we close out this year, I really do appreciate the work and the effort that you've been putting into this position. There have been a lot of curveballs, a lot of challenges, but you're tackling them head on and you're doing an outstanding job. So thanks again. I appreciate it. And that is all I had for tonight. Manager Rivas.
What he said. Thank you, Mr. President. Back in late May, when I was brought on to take over this role, I had said that this is going to be a collaboration between staff and the board. I still mean that. I look forward to the challenges that we have come up in 26, but we've got an incredible staff, and they've been meeting it every step of the way. Everything that's ever been asked of them, they've provided everything that's ever been requested in report form, they've given to you. It's nothing that they can't tackle. So I look forward to what is being asked of us moving forward. We know what needs to happen in this town. We need further development, economic development. We know we need to start bringing more funds in. We need additional revenue. We need to all brainstorm together to figure out how to do that as a group to better our chances of having a better downtown area or an old town area or on the north side or on the south side. So it's going to take time. Development takes a long time. In trying to find the right deals, the right developers, the right group to work those things out. So I think we've got a fantastic group moving forward with all the departments. I couldn't be happier than how they're operating, whether it's resource-wise or staff-wise, moving forward. So I look forward to 2026. I can't say thank you enough to all the village staff as well as the board. That's all I have.
Thank you. We do not have a need to go into executive session tonight, so we'll go ahead and move to adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Constados, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Trustee Sabri. Is there any discussion? No? Okay. Voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, we are adjourned at 8:45 p.m. Thank you, everybody.